This podcast is brought to you by Salt River Pictures.
Hi, Lloyd. A little slow tonight, isn't it?
Hello there.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Stay on target.
Dylan! Son of a bitch.
Welcome to the Salt River Movie Club.
Join in if you want.
That's Game of Thrones. What's happening?
We were both at a time track to that.
Oh god, that was,
It's incredibly hard to do over Discord.
I had no idea what was going on.
We were in sync at one bit for me anyway.
Yeah. It's fine, I'll do. Hello and welcome back to the Salt River Movie Club. And to a little special episode, a bonus episode, where we are not talking about movies. Today we are the Salt River TV Club, or streaming club, I guess, in this case. But
that sounds much less good.
Much
Yeah, no, it's fine. Forget what I said. We're still the Salt River Movie Club. Yes, there's a little bonus episode. This will be coming out on Friday the 5th, which we usually come out on Mondays. This one is more of just a little roundup, mid-season roundup of Marvel's WandaVision so far.
Yes.
Our thoughts and a few theories and things like that. Yes, we are three members of the band Salt River Shakedown. If you don't know, we might as well do the usual pitch. Three members of the band Salt River Shakedown. We do blues rock, classic rock, that kind of thing. But this podcast is not about that band. This podcast is about movies. And yes, joining me today. I've realized, by the way, the last few episodes I've been introducing you guys and then forgetting to introduce myself. So
We shall
we'll
introduce
start.
Jake. Jake is...
Yeah, okay, fair.
We welcome you. We welcome you, Jake, the host of this podcast, drummer boy extraordinaire.
I see. Well,
he's wearing a
over
Spider-Man
here,
shirt today, by the way.
I am wearing a Spider-Man shirt. I am on brand. You two are not doing your usual plaid and movie t-shirts.
No, I'm changing it.
This is an extra. This is an extra episode.
I've got like a tie-dye hoodie thing.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I'm repping.
Well, okay, over here. We have in one corner. He's got long, beautiful, flowing hair and an amazing ability to reshape reality as he sees fit. He's our very own Wanda. It is Alec McMillan.
Hello,
How you doing?
I'm good. I enjoyed seeing my boyfriend die.
Oh my god!
That was fun.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, Sean.
Okay, and over here he is a mechanical man. He's a computer created by Tony Stark, and most importantly, he is a vision. It is our own vision. It is Sean Kilner.
Sorry, that was odd.
He is Vision, aka Mecha Sean Kilner.
Mecha Sean Kilner. That episode won't even be out by the time this comes out.
You'll understand when the next episode comes out.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Yes. If I was to be a character in the show, I believe I would be an Agnes, Catherine Hahn's character. I'm the one that's kind of quietly manipulating things in the background. And yeah.
Ooh.
Well, that kicks off the episode.
Yes.
Yeah. Either that or Hawkeye.
Oh my god.
No.
So we are we are 4 episodes into WandaVision.
Yep.
First of all, just how do we feel about it so far? How are we enjoying it?
So this was,
love it.
yeah, no, I love it, but like this is a show that I just it wasn't really on my radar that much, other than seeing like a couple of trailers and kind of forgetting about it. And then Jake said it came out, and I was like, oh, and then watched it, and it was like, whoa, this is very creepy.
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah,
more creepy than I thought it would be. So
it's kind of probably the closest thing they've done to horror in a way so far. Like it's not going for that really, but it has this kind of creepy vibe about it.
Definitely.
And yeah. It's
It's
Sean,
like,
what about you?
Yeah.
Sorry. No, you go.
I was just going to say it's super unsettling.
Yes, it is definitely.
Yeah. See, I was kind of the same. At first, I wasn't really interested in it when they announced the name. I was like, all right, cool, it's another Marvel TV show. But then I can't remember who said it. I think it was one of the directors, was like, oh, it links directly into the next Doctor Strange, which is the multiverse of madness. So originally I went, oh, okay. And then I completely forgot about its existence until Jake also brought it up at like 2 a.m, and I binge watched the first 2 episodes.
I know. We were about to record like our 3rd episode or something, and we had to be up in like a few hours, and I was like, by the way, Sean, do you know that WandaVision's out?
So like, you can tell what episode that was.
So is this like one of the first Marvel shows that like directly ties in with the movies then?
So Marvel's history with TV is a little weird. There have been multiple Marvel shows kind of part of the MCU. Like the way it's always worked is that the events of the movies affect the shows, but very rarely the other way around.
Yeah, totally.
So we've had so far. We've had Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That was kind of the kickoff one, which is I've seen the first season of, and it's a lot of fun, but it's not incredible. Which was famously about Agent Coulson coming back, the character that died in the first Avengers movie. Yes, and then there was Agent Carter, which apparently is very good. I've not seen that. I am planning to watch all of these at some point. There was Inhumans, which is apparently fucking awful. Like really, really terrible. There was Cloak and Dagger, which is like only available on certain streaming services, and it's again apparently pretty terrible. And then there's all the Netflix stuff, which is connected to the MCU. Like it is meant to be in the same universe.
Well, like Daredevil and all that.
Daredevil, Punisher, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and Defenders, like all of Jessica Jones, like all of those are technically set in the Marvel universe, and they reference like New York being destroyed in the Avengers movie, but they just. Beyond that, they kind of just treat themselves as their own little universe. So while there have been Marvel shows before, this is the first one that really is part of it. You know,
and
like it's really kind of.
It seems like in the last few years or so, it's like TV has really caught up with movies and the fact that audience expect the same sort of quality in TV shows that they do with a big budget movie now. So they've kind of almost had to like super up their game. So it kind of feels like the first kind of. Like obviously Disney's had a few like we start with The Mandalorian and all that. It's like super movie style like budget and everything. So this is similar in that way. So it's almost like they're offering.
Totally, yeah. Like if you like at a glance, you would never guess that Mandalorian was a TV show. You know,
totally.
It looks movie quality, especially season 2. Don't you say, oh yeah, you've not watched it yet. We're getting
I've seen screenshots and trailers and
fair enough.
I know exactly what it looks like. I just haven't watched it.
No, I'm kind of in a similar position to you guys where like at first when they revealed the name of this, I was like unsure. Like I was intrigued because like we've had like these are actually 2 characters that I've kind of been a little underserved. Like they get some good moments in the movies, but they like one of them's dead now.
Yeah, like they're big. Like in the comics, they're huge characters in their own right, but in the movies, they maybe didn't get their own like.
Well, yeah, and it's interesting. Like they are kind of 2 of the most powerful characters in the comics. Like really, like
in the in the sort of MCU canon, Wanda is actually the most powerful being in existence.
Yeah, like, and it's kind of said at a couple points as well, but they never really got the screen time because there's, Tony Stark and Captain America that we all love, and,
Yeah, totally.
See, if you look back at Infinity War and Endgame, the only person who actually genuinely comes close to killing Thanos is Wanda.
That is true.
I know,
she
no,
does fuck
totally.
him up for a while.
Yeah.
There's a wee
that is an epic moment. In it. When she comes back from the snap and just absolutely has at him, man, it's like, oh,
she comes so close to killing him as well, like literally an inch
honestly,
away.
I would have been quite. They could have done that as an ending. To be honest,
I know.
Like how cool would that would have been pretty cool to just have like her just like re-emerge from the snap and just fucking kill him in one go. That would be so cool.
That's one of the amazing things about the finale of Endgame is that there's so many moments where you're just like, I'd be happy if this stopped here, and then they keep upping it. It just gets crazy. Because that she's the one that causes him to do the hailfire thing, and he like brings, like he has to call him back up basically.
Totally.
When she attacks him.
She makes him bring in a full army. Like,
No, it's crazy.
An obliteration of even his own troops as well, just to survive. It's like,
Yep.
whoa,
Yeah.
holy shit. Wanda's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, and then there's Vision, who, you know, created from Ultron by Tony Stark accidentally, and he was kind of Jarvis before that, and then he turns into Vision, and then like, you know, and we get moments that kind of demonstrate his power. Like, he is the first character other than Thor that's able to lift Mjolnir, for example.
yeah, I love Paul Bettany. I think he's brilliant.
Paul Bettany is
He's
amazing.
so good.
He's like. I've been watching a lot of, like, obviously because this just came out, there's a lot of interviews with him and stuff, and it's just like he literally thought his career was over, and then like because like he had a talk with like a bunch of, you know, big people in Hollywood, and they were like, yeah mate, like I'd move on, like nobody wants you. As you know what I mean, nobody wants you in the industry and stuff, and he literally apparently walked out of that meeting and got a call from the director to say, hey man, do you want to? We're shooting we're making an Iron Man movie. Do you want to be the voice and this character? And then they just literally just threw like millions of money at him to just do some voiceover work. Do you know what I mean? Which is insane. And apparently everyone loved him in that movie because like if they couldn't capture the people that are making the movie, because if they couldn't capture like the tone of a scene in CGI or couldn't explain something properly, they just had like Jarvis go, the bad guys are on the left and this is where we're going. Like if we could, he was just like such a good like explainer of the situation in post if they couldn't get something across.
Yeah, and like in those early Jarvis ones, like he's still great. Like even though he's just the voice and he's kind of doing this kind of robotic hello sir like the entire time, like he still gets some comedy out of it.
Oh, totally.
He still has a personality, which is quite difficult to do as an AI.
Like you always remembered Jarvis's voice.
And my favorite thing ever is that Paul Bettany's wife was the voice of the new like Jarvis.
Friday.
And Iron Man Friday, that's his wife.
I love
so they
that.
both
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's
That's
amazing.
cool.
So both of them are like duo for the
That's so cute.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I do love Friday, but I love an Irish accent, so
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, that's really.
we kind of went off track a wee bit.
Well, no, I mean, it's cool.
it's
Just kind
not.
of giving some background.
Yeah.
I think he's great because like he does the you know, the like incredibly powerful wise robot thing really well, but then also gets to just kind of do his comedy chops every so often, and especially in this second episode of this, he's hilarious.
I would watch this as a sitcom.
I know.
As a legit sitcom.
It doesn't need to, see if it didn't have the creepy element and it was just a sitcom, it would be class. It'd be like, this is so funny.
No, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, spoilers by the way. We are talking about
Yes.
the first 4 episodes and theories and stuff.
Yes.
Yes, we are. Let's have a quick little run through of kind of the concept and where we are and things like that. So
Hit the spoiler alarm.
Let's talk about.
I need to get the spoiler alarm going. Shit, hold on.
Should we have let's have a wee quick recap of Wanda and Vision's story before getting into this, I think. Just quickly.
Okay. So okay. So Wanda, you know, starts as
Big Wanda Maximoff.
she's introduced at right at the end of Captain America's Winter Soldier, I believe, in the post-credit sequence.
Yeah.
There's a you see her and her brother. What's the brother called again? Quicksilver. His actual name.
Zoom Zoom.
Zoom Zoom.
Hedro? Oh, let me check.
Petro, yeah, that's it.
Petro.
So they're introduced as these kind of creepy sort of experiments in a cage. And then in Age of Ultron, they're kind of released, and we find out that they are siblings, and they are from Sokovia, and their home was destroyed by a Stark missile. Yeah. So they start off kind of as bad guys, which is quite fun. Like
so their home was destroyed, and then they volunteered themselves for Hydra experiments. Was it Hydra?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
no, it is Hydra actually. Yeah.
And their power derives from the one of the Infinity Stones that's in the staff, isn't it?
So it does. That is true. Yeah.
Right.
It'll be the Reality Stone. Yeah,
that's
true.
it. So they get the power from the Reality Stone. which is interesting.
which is why she basically has the same power as the reality
She
stone.
basically is like a walking reality stone, isn't she? Like,
Yeah.
And that's why the brother has got super speed as well. Like it's the sort of manipulation of reality. Literally.
super speed unless you shoot him with a machine gun, and then that's it.
That is true. Yeah, he did not see that coming.
Which I think, I'm sorry, that's the daftest death of all time. I did not enjoy that.
I wonder
It's
if they'll
not
retcon
great.
it.
It's really bad.
Yeah,
It's like you're one.
So,
Oh, no.
oh god, you froze up a lot there. You're right.
What did I? I'm fine.
Yeah,
There's the
you're
boy
back.
there.
Yeah, which kind of I'm going to mention briefly one quick theory.
Yeah.
That I don't think this will happen, but like, so there is a rumor
Okay.
that Evan Peters has been cast in this show. If you don't know who Evan Peters is, he is a regular on American Horror Story and things like that, and he also plays Quicksilver in the X-Men universe.
Oh, him? Oh,
Same-
okay.
Same character.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Now, considering this is sort of a multiverse area we're getting into with different realities and things like that, there is a theory going around that they're going to bring in Evan Peters as an alternate universe version of her brother.
Right. But the
Which
thing
would be
the thing
weird.
is, because like the character, the Quicksilver in the X-Men universe is definitely not Russian.
no,
Like
like it's
he's-
basically a different character.
Yeah, he's like he's so American, like, and he's so like lives in his mum's
Yeah.
basement at the start, and then like, do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, so
It's also heavily hinted that he's Magneto's son at one point, if I'm pretty sure.
yeah, it's Magneto's son.
That's because
Yeah,
it is,
yeah.
That's because it is.
Yeah. No, it's explained.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't think they'll do that. I think that would be too
Nah,
kind of...
they won't.
It'd be too confusing for casual fans, first of all. But like,
The first character that they would do any crossover with, in my opinion, is Wolverine.
yeah,
Because I
Or
think
maybe-
that's the moment where people would be like, yes, and they would understand it. Whereas like a small character like Quicksilver, you'd just be like, that's not right.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, no, totally. I actually think Deadpool is quite likely.
or Deadpool.
Deadpool's
Yeah,
more
I'm
likely.
thinking
You can kinda-
both. I'm thinking Wolverine and Deadpool would be in the same
Yeah.
thing, wouldn't they?
It would
Yeah,
have
totally,
to be because they were
yeah.
dynamic.
Because Deadpool, you can totally just play it off as a meta gag where he's just like, "Hey, what universe am I in now?" And you know, like, it's,
Yeah, totally.
that's probably the easiest way of doing it. I think they're going to full reset the X-Men universe. If I'm honest, I think like
It's long overdue because like,
Yeah.
Dark Phoenix and that wasn't great.
no.
That
Like,
the whole newer reboot.
I kind of
is just-
I don't want another Wolverine though.
I think if they're smart, they'll reset the X-Men universe, but they'll leave Wolverine for quite a while.
Yeah,
They won't
like-
touch him because Hugh Jackman is literally
Yeah.
Wolverine.
still amazing. Yeah.
Like, can you imagine if they recast Iron Man now?
No,
You know?
yeah, it's the
people
same
would be
thing.
pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise as Iron Man. Oh no.
Who was
I
the
know.
original casting choice,
Yeah,
which
totally.
is crazy. But I like Tom Cruise. I don't think we would have anywhere near the same warmth towards him by now if it was him though. Like,
no. The
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey's in a league of his own, that kind of thing.
yeah, totally.
He's
Yes. So yes, no. They are kind of working for Ultron at the start, and then the brother is killed just by a gun. I can't remember even who shoots it. It's probably just one of the.
Just one of the
yeah.
Ultron
She kind of realizes they kind of they both kind of realize that we don't like Stark Industries, but at least they're helping us to not fucking destroy Sokovia, and it wasn't Stark that lifted up the whole fucking place and
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Dropped it to the ground. So
So they kind of change sides. The brother is killed, and then Wanda becomes an Avenger. In the same movie, we're introduced to Vision, who, as I kind of mentioned earlier, he like Ultron is kind of accidentally created by.
He's an
Tony Stark.
amalgamation. Said by this is like by Bruce. He said he's an amalgamation of Tony, Bruce, Jarvis, and the internet.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Like he's kind of the most intelligent being in the universe, and he's extremely powerful.
and he's like the most good character as well.
Yeah,
He's
like
just
pure.
He's
good.
pure good
Yeah.
to the core.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he sticks around as well, and as I say, he's able to. There's a kind of a gag where he's able to lift up Mjolnir towards the end of.
Yeah, he's worthy.
film.
He's just worthy.
that film kind of gets a kicking, but there is some good stuff in there. Like definitely, like
There's great stuff in Ultron. I like that movie.
I like it a lot, and I kind of hope this show brings people back around on it a little bit because I think it's good. You know, you're going to say something, Sean?
I was just going to talk about the whole Mjolnir thing. It's actually explained how he can lift it. It's because he's not technically a living being, and he was literally born 5 minutes before he lifted it. So he's not done either good or bad things. So he's just kind of like a genuinely neutral thing.
It's like if a baby tried to lift it.
Yeah, a baby could probably lift Mjolnir because it's done nothing.
Yeah. If it had the arm strength, it could probably lift it.
Can't even lift its own head, but it can lift a hammer.
Yeah.
But yes. So just quickly skipping ahead. During Civil War, there is the start of Wanda and Vision kind of having a relationship, and then skipping on to Infinity War. Vision is one of the characters that is just outright killed by Thanos.
Yeah.
Like not through the snap, no kind of coming back from it. He rips a crystal out of his skull.
And even worse, he's killed twice.
Oh yeah,
he is killed twice.
He reverses time and then crushes his skull again.
So basically, Wanda and Vision realize Thanos is going to come for the stone that's in his noggin. Do you know what I mean? So it goes like he basically says, right, like you couldn't do me any harm. I'd rather you to basically end me than Thanos. So he can't get the stone.
Yes.
So they do that, and then Thanos just ticks back the wee clocky, and then rips out his head anyway. So.
Yeah. There is quite a nice scene of them in the start of that film in Edinburgh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, with the kebab shop.
The kebab shop. We will deep fry your kebab, whether you want us to or not.
We will.
Welcome to Scotland, where heart disease is a thing.
There's a fight scene in Edinburgh train station where at one point Vision is kind of injured up against a fence, and I was watching with my brother one time, and he went, "I've thrown up on that fence."
That's brilliant.
Which is great.
I love
that. So Vision is dead. As we said, Wanda is initially snapped. She's taken out of the universe by Thanos, and then comes back after Hulk unsnaps, or blips, I think it's called in this. And then kicks fuck out of Thanos for a while. And then that's kind of the last we see of her until this show.
Yeah.
At which point, the show opens in a very weird way.
Yeah.
The first 3 episodes of this, you are literally just watching a sitcom.
First 3.
Should we do like a detailed recap on all 4 episodes?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's kind of run through some stuff. So the first episode is done as a 50s sitcom. The interesting thing about the show is that they kind of move through decades with each one. So the
that's
first
so
one is
weird.
Yeah, first one's done as a 50s sitcom in style of like I Love Lucy and things like that. And it's there's hints towards what's actually going on throughout the episodes, and like like you see Vision, like the kind of setup for the sitcom is that they are a superhero couple, Vision's indestructible head and all that. There's all these little and it's full of like really lame jokes.
Yeah, so
it's the way that those shows.
So it's like
had.
they basically
50s cheese.
Yeah, they play it out as if they've just like newly arrived in this town. Vision's got a job. He kind of gets to the job, and like the whole time he's kind of like, what is it we do here? And he's everyone is slowly kind of trying to figure out what is actually going on. And
it's really clever because it puts you, so you're always slightly ahead of where they are. Like totally. You kind of have you have more understanding of like when they are going like, well, how did we get here? You're kind of going like, yeah, like you're dead. You're always you always know a little bit more than the characters actually do. Totally. You're kind of always a little ahead of them. It's really cleverly written actually. And then towards the end of that episode, there is that scene,
the dinner scene,
the first properly creepy scene where the Vision's boss in this universe starts choking. And the wife's telling them to stop, and then it gets slowly more sinister. And they do a really clever thing with the camera, where for the entire episode it's been the kind of classic sitcom 2-camera setup thing, always kind of really far out shots, and then it suddenly switches to like a Twilight Zone kind of feel where the cameras are a bit closer, like right in people's faces, and
like she's like almost like in a trance, like the wife of the person that's choking. She's like almost like she wants, like she's saying help him, but the whole time she's like laughing. But it's like it's like something deep, like it's almost like
Very
she's in a
sinister.
like a sitcom trance, but something deep inside of her is like really worried, like and like frantic almost.
Which kicks off the first round of theories, really.
Yeah.
Which is how much control. Sorry, on your question.
Oh, you're talking about theories. I had one immediately, like from that whole bit. Well, it kind of stems from when they announced that it was tied into the multiverse thing. I originally thought it was going to be the equivalent to Satan in the Marvel universe was holding Wanda hostage. And basically granting her the life that she always wanted in exchange for something that I couldn't work out.
Mephisto.
Yeah, Mephisto. So that immediately was after the first episode. I think I came straight to the chat actually and went, "This is what's going to happen. I know exactly what's going to happen. I've not been wrong before." But when we get to the third episode, I think my entire theory got shattered into millions of pieces.
Yeah, it's good at that. This show, like.
I don't think it's completely shattered. I think it's completely.
Oh, it is. In the fourth, I'll explain in the why when we get to the fourth.
It's
episode.
not. It's definitely not. I don't think.
The Mephisto theory is dead.
It's
I can
not.
tell you why.
It isn't dead.
I mean, when you, if you
No,
when we
they're trying to mislead you. It's all
See,
a
I was-
misdirect.
I thought that at first, and then they
TV shows
completely
never
ruined it.
TV shows never tell you what's happening, and then that's the actual thing that's going to happen. I doubt it.
I mean, after episode 4, I've got a completely new theory that I think is right. So we'll
Okay.
see.
Okay.
But we'll when we get to episode 4,
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
explain it.
By the way, quick thing, totally forgot.
What?
Spoilers! Spoiler alarm is sounding. There you go.
If you haven't seen the first
There you go.
episode, then well, fuck you.
Yeah, that's fine. The first episode was up ages ago, along with the first two. Yeah, the fact that scene at the dinner table kind of sparked the first major question of the series, which is how much control over this does Wanda actually have?
Yeah.
Or if she's even in control to begin with.
Yeah, because she does seem like she at least plays along that she doesn't really know what's going on. But then she seems to be controlling Vision in that scene. Vision is kind of like wanting to help, but he can't. And then
right,
eventually she goes, help him, Vision, and then he immediately goes and helps her. Helps
totally.
the guy.
But she said it. She says it so deadpan as well. She's like, she's like helping Vision. Like, you know what I mean? She doesn't.
Like she's commanding
I
him
get
to do
the,
it.
yeah, I kind of almost get the feeling that she's kind of playing along. She knows what's going on. She's playing along, and then that's her breaking character briefly.
Yeah, totally.
You know, like
Definitely.
But there is a definite question over like, has someone put her in this? Because it's hard to say. Like so when skipping ahead slightly to the end of episode 4, the kind of big reveal at the end of episode 4 is Maria Rambeau, the daughter of that character from Captain Marvel, by the way, if you didn't know. It goes, you know, she talks about like it's her. She's controlling all of this.
I was kind of waiting to go through all the episodes and get to that point and explain.
I know,
the big
it just-
theory that I've got.
It just ties in to this. Like I don't know, my kind of thinking at first, and I still kind of feel this, is that it is her. Like she has created this as a way of coping with the loss of Vision, but someone is fucking with it. There's someone else there. Maybe Agnes. My kind of big theory is that Agnes is going to turn out to be the villain, and then. Like maybe someone's like, because at the end of Endgame she doesn't seem like someone that's on the verge of a breakdown, you know. I'm pretty sure she's at Tony's funeral, isn't she?
Yes, she is.
Yeah, you know, she doesn't seem like she's on the verge of a total mental break so much, but I don't know, maybe I'm wrong.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
On you go, Sean.
I was going to say, like, to tie it all together, there's a lot of references to Hydra as well. There is. So another theory that came up for me was the fact that like Hydra had kidnapped Wanda and they were like keeping her in that sort of reality and sort of like trying to get like secrets out of her or how she's got or the power that she's got, that kind of thing. But then you mentioned like the whole Wanda controlling Vision thing, and I went, nah, that doesn't.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem right at all.
There is some cleverness with the way they frame things with like, you know, like things like the Beekeeper guy coming out of the sewer in the second episode. They frame it so that you feel like, you know, like she's trapped somewhere. She has some influence over her, but she's trapped somewhere. And then you're seeing the cracks coming in with those things. And then it's kind of revealed later that that's actually that Sword.
Yeah.
The officer of S.H.I.E.L.D., they are just kind of trying to find out if she's okay more than anything else. Like,
so like
Sword are the good guys.
Yeah.
So there's a big thing with Agnes where it really looks like she's like Agatha from Marvel, who's like
Agatha Harkness.
Yeah, could be.
And that she's like a Salem witch or something like that.
Yeah.
So she's like a Salem witch, and it's like her son in Marvel is called like something Scratch, and in this her rabbit's called Senor Scratchy, and it's like loads of things that tie.
Okay.
There's loads of things that tie in, so it's like she's 100% that character working for Mephisto or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think she's directly the bad person. Oh, sorry. So the Agatha person doesn't work for Mephisto. That's a different person. This person is a Salem witch that actually helps Wanda control her powers or something in the comics. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So it's,
yeah. We should kind of mention our Marvel credentials, by the way. Like I am a massive Marvel fan. I love a lot of the comics, and I'm actually looking at my MCU box sets right now over there. I know a lot about the MCU and I know quite a bit about the comics, but full disclosure, I'm more of a DC guy. Like especially in terms of comics, their movies have been
Cancel
up
Jake.
and down, but their movies have been up and down. But in terms of comics, I am a Batman and a little bit of Superman guy. So yeah, that is my area of expertise. So you're saying some stuff that I'm not aware of, which is interesting.
I'm learning these things just like from the internet. Like I've not read the comics or anything like that.
No,
but
you like out of the three of us, you like are less into the comic side of things, and like more into the movies and the shows. Sean, you're probably the biggest Marvel expert of all of us.
See, I've read only really the storylines that have really interested me. Like a lot of the multiverse stuff I'm fascinated by. But again, I mostly kind of look up theories. I know the characters extremely well, but I mostly kind of like look up theories and the occasional list of who's the strongest in the whole Marvel universe. But apart from that, I love the MCU. I'm definitely into the Marvel movies. Not big on DC though.
They have been up and down, but let's not forget that The Dark Knight is one of the best movies ever made.
Okay, fine, fair.
But yes, no, their cinematic universe has been a bit of a disaster overall.
But we're not here to discuss them right now.
yeah, it's been terrible.
That comes later.
Yeah.
All right, so we got to episode 2.
Episode 2. Episode 2, they skip ahead to, it's more of a 60s sitcom. I actually didn't notice that when I watched the episode.
Did you not? I did. I totally did.
Yeah, like the difference between 50 and 60 sitcoms is not huge enough that I was like, oh, we're in a 60s sitcom now. But totally. Like it makes sense when you look back at it, definitely. But yeah, it's just like the kind of boldness of Marvel to release the first 2 episodes.
Black and white, full on.
Black and white, full on, just a sitcom aside from a handful of scenes. We should mention, by the way, like this first episode ends with you getting a glimpse of someone watching her on a TV, and it kind of goes to color for a second.
Yeah.
But the second episode's... Sorry.
And the standout moment for the second episode is when it, for me anyway, like was when you see that bit of colour with the sword drone that lands in the bush.
Yeah.
Yes, and then
it's totally jarring in it. It's like, hang on, like what is that? What do you mean? Like,
and then especially
sorry, was that the episode with the radio as well?
Yes, the same one, and then the blood on that woman's hand. Also, like it's so cool. Like after having so much of black and white, it's just these things totally stand out.
Yeah, it kind of gives me. It sounds weird, but it kind of gives me Schindler's List vibes. You know, when it's black and white, and then you see the girl with the. Schindler's List. Oh, there's a scene where you should. That's terrible.
I know.
The whole movie's in black and white, apart from this one girl that's in color, and it just shows you like kind of her light compared to the darkness around everything. It's like really smart. It's like the only thing in the whole movie that's in color. It's like well done.
Yeah. If I remember right, actually, the first hint of color in this is I think it's in the ad. Like each episode has a kind of sort of 50s style ad. And in episode 1 is a toaster, which has one of my favorite lines in it. Like, are you tired of your wife burning your toast?
Oh god,
they're very misogynistic and like such like a era specific way. It's like
it's so funny, like it's so cleverly done.
stupid.
And also even funnier, it's a Hydra toaster. The new Hydra toaster. And but the thing about it is that there's a flashing light on it that is flashing red. And then, like, it's interesting that it's always red.
Oh, so the thing is with that toaster is the flashing light on it is something to do with the same light when they were held captive or something like that. It's apparently the same thing, and I think it's almost like it's like leaking through into the sitcom, her experiences with Hydra and Stark and all that, and it's like leaking through into these adverts. Like
it does seem like they're related to kind of trauma in some way.
Yeah, totally. It's like PTSD leaking into like an advert, a 50s sitcom. It's really weird.
Yeah, totally. Like it's. Because that's actually now thinking about it, it's not a Hydra toaster, it's a Stark toaster.
Stark toaster,
and obviously, as we said earlier, she starts out kind of hating Tony Stark, and that kind of makes sense. And then in the second episode, it's a Hydra watch, and it says Strutker on it, which is the name of the guy who's kind of holding them hostage.
Yes, yeah. He's the guy that did the experiments on them and did the
breaker.
Yeah. The ads are brilliant. The ads are so specific and like accurate to that time period.
You guys want to hear a really weird theory that I'm looking up like different things to see for talking points?
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a theory that the folks in the commercials are actually Wanda's parents.
Oh, interesting. Because it's the same actors every time.
Is it the same actors? Oh.
I think so. Yeah. Like it's like in every episode, it's the same guys coming back. Which ties into like there's some stuff in the second episode that suggests that all the townspeople are like actors. Like
it's very
towards the end,
very Truman Show vibes for the first few.
Oh, totally, yeah. Truman Show, bit of Pleasantville, there's a lot of that going on. So there's a moment towards the end of the episode where like their neighbor clearly wants to reveal something to Vision. Yeah, and Catherine Hahn's character is like, don't and like
is that episode? Is that episode 2 or 3?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because it's still in black and white at that point, and most the color. And Catherine Hahn's character Agnes is like kind of trying to stop him from saying anything. So it definitely seems like she's manipulating things in the background, which is cool. But it does seem like he's going to say like we're, he kind of breaks character. We're like we're not these people, like
It's episode 2 where the dude has the glitch and he's cutting through the fence.
Yes,
So it's like that's another thing. It's like, are these just pawns? And they're just like glitching like a video game or something, like
or
I'm sure that's episode 3 because that's when all the shit gets so really weird.
No, it's in episode 2 because it's still in black and white at that point.
Oh, okay.
It's creepy, and again, it kind of ties into that question of how much control does she actually have, because it does seem like the other people are vaguely aware of what's going on, or at least some of them are. It feels like
they're actually getting more aware as each episode.
Yeah, definitely.
Goes on.
Has she just come across a real town and kind of taken it over, and she's now controlling all these people like puppets?
Yeah, that's what it.
And they're just having to play along.
That's what it looks like now. I think.
Or if someone has kind of put her into this state, are they actors who are there to kind of keep the illusion going for her?
Yeah. Well, the thing, so if we just skip ahead a tiny bit, if like
that's fine.
So like when what's the detective called?
Maria.
Oh God.
No, the one that's in Ant-Man, the one that discovers.
Oh God, I've forgotten. Hold on, I'll find him.
His name, wait, are you talking about the guy?
The FBI guy that comes with
Jimmy
Woo. That's it.
Jimmy Woo.
So when
yes, Jimmy Woo.
So
yes.
So and he's in Ant-Man as well, which is good. He's so funny in that. So he's got a big board. So he's trying to figure out what the script is with this whole place, and he's got a big board of missing people. and it's like a lot of the missing people are like the boss, and so these are real people apart from Agnes, who's not on the board at all.
Are you talking about the theory that Agnes is Mephisto or the missing person is Mephisto?
I don't.
Apparently, that's a thing.
It's hard. And throughout this, there's also the reason why they went to the town in the first place was a missing persons case that's unrelated to any of this. So it's like, who is that missing person as well? But I don't think she's Mephisto, but I think she is either that Salem witch who's there,
Agnes.
Or she is the helper of Mephisto. So it's one of those.
Okay. Interesting.
I think, but yeah. So so it begs the question of who is real and who is. Because it does seem like it's just been like Simpsons bubble over this town, and it's just like
the hexagon.
Yeah,
it's actually a theory, the hexagon theory.
Yeah, with the bees and everything. And,
we'll get to that later. We discussed episode 4 because I have 4 theories from episode 4 alone.
I have 4 theories.
I genuinely have 4 different ideas of what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, the bit that really freaked me out in that second episode was like when you still don't really know what's going on, and it's like that rumbling outside, and it's like, oh, it's just like it's just the trees, deer, and all that, like at the window.
Yeah, that freaked me out. I was like,
what is going on? And you kept on hearing it. It's like that's when it really started getting nightmarish. Especially I felt bad for Vision because he's really realizing that something's no right. Like,
yeah. Also, I've just realized that actually that is episode 3, the thing with the neighbor, because it's when it's just after Wanda's given birth.
Yeah. Okay.
Which
also sparked another theory, but we'll get to that after we talk about episode 4.
It's fine. We're just talking about the whole show. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. So just to quickly round off episode 2. Episode 2 is based around in a very, very sitcom setup. They are trying to prepare an act for the town magic show.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Which leads to Drunk Vision, which is fantastic.
That is the best thing ever. Yeah, so funny.
Just to Paul Bettany again to totally chew scenery in the best way, and it's good fun. And that episode kind of ends with Wanda suddenly becoming pregnant out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's right.
More importantly, actually, the Beekeeper appears. Who's this guy that kind of appears out of nowhere, and he's dressed as a beekeeper. There's bees around him, and it's quite a sinister moment. And Wanda just goes no, and then rewinds time by a couple minutes.
That's right.
Which
again is like, okay, so she has a lot of control for this, whatever's going on, you know.
And they mention the beekeeper's name, and that has some significance as well. Like apparently he's somebody in the comment, because they never show his face. So I think that is going to be some sort of reveal for whoever that agent is.
Yeah, totally.
Agent Franklin.
Agent Franklin, yeah, that's the one. See if you just look up Agent Franklin, there's theories about who he is, or he's somebody's son, is what it is.
I just want to mention one of my other favorite jokes so far, which is when Vision's at the library with the other guys. They're all sharing gossip, but he just goes, I've got just a bit of gossip, and then just totally deadpan, Phil's a communist. And the whole room goes silent.
Oh, it's so funny. It's the best thing ever.
And I love as well that guy is clearly a communist, because like as soon as they all he's like looks totally scared, and then they all start laughing, he like totally overlaps. It's so good.
Oh yeah. The thing about Agent Franklin is his second name is Richards. If you don't know that name, it is Reed Richards from Fantastic Four.
That's it. It's supposed to be a Fantastic Four tie-in. That's what it is.
Ooh, okay, because they are building up to introducing the Fantastic Four at some point. So that's
I can't wait for that.
That's I literally just watched a theory before this. I was talking about that. Yeah, totally. So she gives birth to 2 boys, Billy and Tommy, who are her actual children in the comics as well.
Yes, because they also have superpowers. This is where the Mephisto theory comes back in. Billy and Tommy are actually Speed and Wiccan, the two super. Like they basically have the same abilities as Wanda and Petro, kind of.
I was going to say, yeah.
But the reason that they got their superpowers is because Mephisto is part of his thing. When he puts Wanda into this reality where Vision's alive, in exchange for her doing, basically keeping his lineage going.
Oh, is that what happens in the comics?
Yeah, so Wanda trades her soul for the ability for Vision to come back, basically. And the children that were born have fragments of Mephisto's soul attached to them.
Okay.
And that's like, if anyone's interested, the arc's called the House of M. If anyone
I was just going to ask,
read.
is this House of M? I've heard a lot of people mention House of M in relation to this. It definitely seems like it's at least inspired by it.
Oh, it's a brilliant arc. I
So
would highly
the question
recommend
is,
reading it.
right, see with these kids, see how the pregnancy went so fast, like literally a day. Will they grow up faster as well?
I would think that's likely, yeah.
Like how I don't think they're gonna stay babies. I think they're gonna see
like
how.
by the end of the show they'll be adults.
I think so. Yeah. See when you see the trailer. Have you seen the trailer? It's like I've not seen it, but I've seen like images of it where it's like the kind of Halloween thing where they're actually dressed up in their original costumes.
Yeah.
And if it's doing that 80s thing, then maybe it'll be they're taking their kids out for trick or treating or something like that.
I think that's going to be a large part of it. One thing that's really cool about the MCU is that they do they kind of adapt existing comic stories, but never directly. Like they've done Civil War and they've done the Infinity Saga and things like that, but they always do quite a different take on it, which I appreciate.
It's never going to be the same thing.
Yeah, you never go into it knowing exactly what's going to happen. It's always,
I love it. There is another very interesting theory tied to Wanda and the kids. There's a theory that Wanda's going to end up creating the mutants out of having the world's biggest breakdown.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of talk about the mutants coming in. I kind of feel like when that when the X-Men are introduced, considering how big a deal the X-Men are in the comics, I feel like that will be a huge seismic thing. I don't know if it will happen in this show, but we might get hints towards it at least. We might get kind of the building blocks for it.
Or that might be the season finale as well, or the
possibly
whole finale.
Yeah, I kind of doubt. Like a lot of people think we're going to see the X-Men in this. I don't think that's going to happen, but
I don't think they'll be in it. I think they'll be referenced eventually.
Possibly, yeah.
I'm curious. Do you think this will be a one-season show?
Depends.
Or do you think this will be multiple seasons? How much has this story got to tell, and how quickly are they going with it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't actually know if they've ever said this, if it's a limited series or not.
It depends when Doctor Strange comes out, because I know it's meant to lead up to that. So whenever Doctor Strange is due out, it'll go up to that point.
It does. The listing on IMDb does say it's a TV miniseries.
Okay, so it'll probably only last up to when Doctor Strange
one
comes
season.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's likely. I think it feels like they've got a really good mystery set up. I hope they don't drag it out for seasons and seasons.
Yeah,
I
don't feel like they
won't do that.
Yeah. Yes. So moving on to episode 3. Episode 3. Yes. You talked about they gave birth to the kids.
In colour now with a 70s vibe.
Yes. Kind of a little bit Happy Days and kind of things like that. Yeah, and most of the episode is, playing into the sitcom thing of like they're trying to hide the fact that she's pregnant. There's a stork at one point. It gets very weird.
That's creepy, that thing.
Yeah. The whole thing definitely has, like, I know you guys, Sean, you've watched some of Buffy, right?
Yes, I love Buffy.
Yeah, cool. Like, it has a vibe of the kind of weirder dream sequence episodes of Buffy where there's this kind of creepy tone of things just being like normal but not quite right, and like Buffy always did that really well.
I didn't like that stork, man. That freaked me out.
Well, that's exactly the kind of thing that Buffy did.
It was like it was going to steal the children or something. Like it was weird.
I know. It's exactly the kind of thing that Buffy does. Is it kind of has these like a normal scene playing out, and then there's just something weird going on, and like
it's like totally just bizarre.
Yeah, totally. It's really cool. And interestingly, the woman that cuts her hand in the second episode actually plays Anya in Buffy, which is quite cool.
We tie in.
Yeah. So maybe it's a deliberate reference. I don't really know, but so that's most of the episode, and then the kids are born. In the background, in the last couple of episodes, we've had the introduction of, I can't remember what her name is in the town.
Geraldine,
you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what's going on here.
Yes, who is revealed later, Monica Rambeau, who I said is the kid from Captain Marvel, which is quite a nice little tie-in. That's quite cool.
I didn't realize that. I only just realized that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that is quite nice. Who is now grown up to be Shield / Sword agent, one of them.
Yeah, so it looks like her mum was the head of Sword, and then when the blip happened, it looked like obviously her mum wasn't well and was obviously leading up for her daughter to take over.
Yeah.
But then the blip happened and she comes back and this other dude that she already knows is now in charge. And it seems like she's totally fine with that, like she understands. But it does feel like if she hadn't disappeared, she would be in charge of Sword. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like she's that high up. Like
like let's kind of move on to episode 4 because it does kind of it jumps back in time. Like we kind of follow the same period of time we've seen so far, but from a different perspective. Again.
Yeah, to finish off on episode 3, like the only other things I can say is like they're starting to reveal their powers more to the people in the village. So like when Vision is going to get the doctor, he just blatantly grabs him and just like zooms to the thing, and the guy's a bit like, what? Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
and interestingly, they do kind of just like he just kind of plays along like he didn't know, you know.
And the kind of last thing you see is Wanda. What's her name again? The character,
Monica Rambeau.
Monica Rambeau. She reveals. She basically mentions Ultron for the first time.
Yeah,
and it's like, hang on a minute, it pure takes you at the scene, doesn't it? You just do not expect that character to just say that at all, and then and then Wanda like, the reason why she mentions Ultron is because Wanda says I was a twin, and then she mentions her brother, and she uses her Russian accent comes back again for a wee bit as well, and it's like,
it's really cool. That is one of the creepier scenes actually when you kind of like when she kind of ejects Monica from what's going on.
And another interesting thing is that, when she ejects her, she goes through 4 walls. It's like she's broke the 4th wall, which is a really fun thing.
I never even
noticed.
That is interesting. I mean, maybe that's not deliberate, but yeah, I would like that to be deliberate.
I think it will. Cool. I think it's definitely
a deliberate thing.
Yeah.
That is quite cool.
Okay. Episode 4.
Episode 4, where we flash back in time, flashback to the blip.
So that caught me so off guard.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
I was expecting another pure sitcom episode. I was like, right, cool, here we go. It's going to go to the 80s.
Yeah, it was like, hang on, this is like movie quality now.
Like,
I know.
What?
And it's nice kind of seeing a hint of like what the more normal Marvel shows would be like Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Like this is a bit more that kind of vibe.
Yeah, this is like the actual upmarket Disney TV show, like the pure high end. Like,
totally.
Because I take it the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that wouldn't have been of that quality with the CGI and stuff. Because even when you see you see the blip of the people coming back, it's like it's the same thing that they would use in the movies, isn't it? It's the same level of
it's the same effect. Like they you can tell how much money they're pouring into these Disney Plus shows, especially like The Mandalorian as well. It's really cool because like we've only seen the blip from the Avengers perspective so far, and we get a jokey version of what happened in Far From Home.
Totally.
Where they're talking about like their classmates are now suddenly 5 years younger than them. And that's really cool. But then actually seeing the chaos of what that would cause is really interesting.
Actually, terrifying. Imagine working in a place like a hospital and then just everyone that was there before suddenly comes back.
Yeah, it's like suddenly have
back.
In the space of 5 seconds, you have double the number of patients.
Yeah.
Like, crazy.
Mental.
Yeah, and weirdly relevant right now.
I know.
Yeah.
And when she mentions, so the first thing we see of her is that she mentions her mum, and she's like, and her mum's passed away and stuff.
Yeah. Again, a character from Captain Marvel. Yes, so that's you get a small bit of that, and then so that's clearly just after Hulk does his snap. So Avengers are in full fighting mode at that point in time, which is kind of cool to think about, just kind of seeing this from a different perspective. I hope we get more of that. I hope we see more characters like where they were when that happened.
Such a pivotal moment in MCU history.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, and then we skip ahead a few weeks. So I think it was 3 weeks or so afterwards. So Tony's funerals happened and things like that. And we get to the Shield. Is it Shield at this
Sword.
point?
No, it's Sword.
Sorry, that's what I meant to say.
That is Sword.
Shield
Yeah.
was defunct all the way back in Age of Ultron when they blew up the helicarrier.
Yeah, no, it's hard to say if they were coming back, because we've had a hint of Shield I keep doing that, of Sword already in the movies. In the post credits of Far From Home, we see Nick Fury on some kind of spaceship.
Yeah,
and
So Nick Fury is the real Nick Fury's on the spaceship, and the fake Nick Fury played by one of the aliens is
Ben Mendelsohn. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can explain that a wee bit. So Shield, it was originally the whole Director Fury thing.
Yes.
In the movies, it was meant to be his the secret agency, FBI kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But after the big failure, and I think it was either Age of Ultron or Avengers, the first one, where the world went, nah, Shield or pish.
Ultron, wasn't it? Ultron.
It was either, I can't remember if it was Ultron or Avengers, but all the directors got together and went, listen, Shield's kind of useless. You're basically burning money at this point. We want you to be defunct. So after the helicarrier got destroyed, that's when the moment when Shield went completely defunct. So any agents that were left in Shield immediately joined Sword, which is the new one, which was created by what's her name? Kobe Smulders' character. I think she made it.
I thought
God.
In this they mentioned that her mum made it though.
I was thinking that I can't remember if it was her character or the mom.
Kobe Smulders is involved, as is Nick Fury. She's just called Kobe Smulders. I cannot remember the character's name now, but
Robin.
Robin. Yes.
Robin. There we go. Robin Sparkles.
Yes, from that terrible show.
So basically Sword is like the underground version of S.H.I.E.L.D. They still do the same thing, but without funding.
Yeah, and in the comics, they're more of a space division of S.H.I.E.L.D., aren't they? Like, they're kind of space defense, where it doesn't seem like they're doing that so much in this at the moment, but maybe that'll come. It seems
it might be part of it, though.
Possibly. Yeah, that's true. It does seem like at this point in this story, like you say, Sword has kind of replaced S.H.I.E.L.D. rather than specifically being a space thing. It's like they are kind of everything now, which is cool. Yes, we get the introduction of Monica Rambeau, as I said, and then it's quite nice after kind of so long of just watching a sitcom. They kind of give us all the kind of nerdy connections we want. So we had Monica Rambeau turn up. We had Jimmy Woo, who is the detective from Ant-Man. He turns up in this. We had Darcy Lewis from the first two Thor movies, which I was not expecting.
Kat Dennings.
Oh, who's
Kat Dennings?
Who's she in? Who's she?
She's the one that famously shouts "Mew Mew" about Mjolnir in Thor: The Dark World. Okay. She's just one of the scientists.
Oh, it's her. Yeah. One that's trying to figure out everything with the radio and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's hilarious.
Yeah, no, she's good fun. And she turns up, and we kind of get a perspective of the outside of the town. They're kind of this town that doesn't seem to exist, and then she'll turn up, and Monica Rambeau tries to kind of infiltrate, and on the outside, Kat Dennings' character, Darcy, is kind of trying to figure things out, and they kind of figure out, and it's very kind of audience-like. They're just like, why are we watching a sitcom? You know,
they're literally.
Why is it a sitcom?
Which is cool. And then we see a lot of the events again of the first 3 episodes, kind of done from the point of view of them watching. So we see the moments when Wanda rewinds time.
Yeah,
we kind of see what that looks.
Yeah, it's just like a blip.
It's a cut. Yeah. It's just really cool. And that episode ends with the moment when Monica is ejected again. And she says, "It's Wanda. It's all Wanda." Which is very deliberately worded, I feel, to kind of like keep it a mystery for the next episode.
I think it's a deliberate misdirect.
Yeah, it could be. It could be a red herring.
I don't think that shows will ever explain that direct.
I think this is what kind of what I was saying earlier. I think to some extent it's all Wanda. I think this is entirely her mind that's doing this, but someone has triggered this in her in some way.
There's been
possibly Mephisto, as you're saying.
There's been Inception, put it that way. Somebody's planted that seed in her mind to do this.
I think someone has like, I don't know, like pushed her to breaking point, so she kind of reverts to the state or something like that, or offered her like, here's a way you could do this, or I don't know. That's the big question at the moment, and has been the big question from episode 1 is who is really running this.
Definitely think that Wanda is going to turn into a kind of bad character. I don't think she's doing anything for good right now.
See, that is my theory right now, is that Wanda is actually a supervillain right now.
Yeah, she seems pretty evil whenever she reverts back to her at normal state. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know if they'll go full on. Well, actually, you know what?
I don't know.
What if she ends up being the bad guy in Doctor Strange? That could be interesting.
See, that would be a hell of a fight to watch. Strange and Wanda battling. Oh, yeah.
That'd be interesting.
That
That could be interesting. It could lead to some kind of conflict between her and Vision. Like, okay, that's got.
Well, I think Vision's. Also, in this episode as well, we also get the really, really creepy.
Glimpse of the corpse.
Sorry, not in episode 3. Sorry, and just to revert back a wee bit, we get the really creepy thing where she looks up at Vision and he's got the Infinity Stone missing, and his eyes eyes are whited out, and he's just completely dead, but still talking to her.
The colourless victim Vision.
Yes,
I'm sure.
So that's really creepy. So I definitely think, he's 100% dead.
Oh, he's gone. Although there is another theory.
I don't think there's any way that you could be alive.
Yeah, there was a theory before that scene where everyone was like, Vision's actually Ultron. I was like, what? Because the way they actually explained it really well, the one that I was reading, that Ultron was dormant inside Vision's mind and was waiting for a moment to like come back and take him over. Because if you remember when it took over, when Ultron and Jarvis had their fight, that Jarvis was waiting in the background. What if Ultron had learned from that and then came back before?
I don't think it'd be a good idea for Ultron to come back.
It's completely defunct now, but like before that scene where you saw Vision's corpse, that was... I'm also going.
Could you imagine that? Just like Vision is just like, I'm back. It's like...
I mean, as much as I would love more James Spader in the MCU, I don't think that's going to happen somehow, but it would be cool. You're right. Right, so what should we pick up on from?
I can't remember.
Okay, Sean, you just start off with saying, I heard a theory that Ultron was still in the mind of Vision. And then we can kind of pick up on
Yeah.
that.
Okay, silence. Okay. So
wait, sorry. No, actually, I think that was a few minutes earlier than where we were, and there was some good stuff after that. I think. Do you want to, I think we probably got enough of that conversation. Do you want to just move on to another topic, just to kind of?
Do you want to just get a wee bit of it, just in case?
Why don't we, for a laugh, leave all of this in? Just explain. I just need to quickly explain that my computer just had a blackout moment and we had to return.
So Sean's computer just completely died, and now we are trying to reattempt to just bodge it up without you guys noticing. But obviously that's a failed attempt, so you all know about this now.
Yeah, you all know now.
We've been caught. We're trying to be slick, but nah, it's not going to work, is it?
I'm sorry.
You said a couple minutes of blind panic there. That was incredible.
Total existential crisis. I went into deep depression for about 1 minute.
You have to keep all of this in now.
We totally thought Sean's file was just gone there, and then Audacity saved his ass. It was amazing. Oh my god!
If you want a digital audio workstation, just get Audacity.
Apparently, it's free and apparently robust as fuck.
We only missed a minute worth of talk as well. So.
Yeah. Okay, right.
Where were we? Oh yes, WandaVision.
WandaVision, yeah, fucking hell. Right, so we were talking about something. What the fuck? We were.
Okay, so Sean had a theory that Ultron was secretly in Vision's mind, but I don't think that's going to be.
Yeah, after the whole, again, as I explained earlier, the whole, it's kind of defunct now because of you saw Vision's corpse in episode 3.
Yeah.
Like, for a while, the theory was, it could be Ultron's big return because he only had one fucking movie.
Yeah.
Was he a big deal in the comics, Ultron?
He is a big
Kind of,
deal, yeah, like a bigger deal than the time he got for the movie. Like, he's more of a sort of Thanos type.
Yeah.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, maybe not quite on that level, but no, he's kind of that kind of villain. He's a big deal,
like an overarching villain over multiple storylines, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of people's problem with that movie is that we get one movie of Ultron and he's a bigger deal than that, But yeah,
so it's not that they didn't like his characters, that they didn't get enough of his character. Was that the
I
thing?
think
wasn't
pretty much, yeah.
He wasn't as big a threat as he was in the comics. I think that pissed a lot of people off. Kind of similar to what happened to Thanos as well, actually. Even though he was like the biggest threat on planet Earth, people were expecting him to, physically kill people. Like, the Avengers, like, take some of them out. Well, yeah, but, like, not in the same way in the comics. Like, I think it's the animated version, he defeats every Avenger using the one thing that, like, would defeat them. Like, Thor ends up aging Thor rapidly with a time stone, so he turns him into a really old man where he can't fight and he's got no strength.
Oh, that's horrendous.
Yeah, so he uses like each stone against each Avenger, and I thought that's what we were gonna like. I know it's a bit cheesy sounding when you think about it, but like, how cool would that have been if he just defeated them all with one stone each rather than all 5 at once?
Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting. We think.
Yeah. So episode
back to
4.
WandaVision.
So we're basically we kind of recapped a wee bit episode 3, did some stuff about episode 4. So the last thing is that she's been yeeted out of West. Was it Westview? And she thinks that Wanda is in control of everything.
Yes,
I fully believe that she is, and I still think she's going to be a villain or has had some sort of mental breakdown.
Yeah, that's one thing we're talking about is the possibility of Wanda being like the villain of Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Like this whole event just kind of corrupts her and like.
So cool.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like she has a lot of good left in her. It doesn't seem like she seems like she cares more about like being with Vision than anything else to even care about what is good and what is bad, because it doesn't even really feel that before she was fighting off of what was good. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't, like, was she necessarily a really good character before?
I would say she's easily corruptible.
Especially if she was already evil at one point, or they made her out to be the bad person.
Or she's too emotional.
She was never really evil in Age of Ultron. She just kind of hated Tony Stark because
she was completely driven by her emotions.
Yeah, and like as soon as she realizes what Ultron's actually doing, they do abandon him. Like it's I don't know. I think I still think that by the end of the season she's going to be back with us. I think this is a momentary lapse where she's kind of let her emotions take over. And I think she's going to get to the end of this and realize what's going wrong. But
again, though, if she's in like a trance in herself with this Mephisto person, if that is a factor in it, or some other overarching thing, say this person gave her Vision back, gave her babies back, if that is taken away from her, again. Do you know what I mean? Like Vision taken away for the third time. I don't think I don't see that playing out well.
No, but they might kind of do like she kind of learns to deal with it, because like that's the thing. Like this is really about her grieving, and she kind of might. Like this, I guess this is denial, really. Like she's on that stage of grief,
Maybe maybe there is a way that Vision's back.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Yeah. The MCU is not known for keeping characters dead for very long, unfortunately. But
I love Vision, so I would enjoy if he came back. But
I like me some Vision.
I do like me some Vision as well, and I'm having a blast with just like this is the most we've got of him with this show, and he's so much fun. I don't know. I still think she's going to come back by the end of this. I think she's going to realize that she's being manipulated and going to snap out of it. But I can also totally see her being the villain of Doctor Strange, which would be definitely be interesting. Like I would not hate that. Yes.
And another thing in that episode 3 when what do you call it? Agnes has to is that Agnes her name in this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The neighbour,
She has
yeah.
to stop the other dude like explaining.
Like
he says
Reggie?
he goes because we're all, and then she stops him. Do you think it's like? Do you think the whole town's dead?
Ooh,
Interesting. Okay.
Do you know what I mean? And then like reanimated in some way.
Yeah. That would explain why the town doesn't seem to exist outside of that world.
Yep, and I mean, Vision we know is dead, and if she's saying we're all, it would kind of make sense that it's maybe Wanda had a moment of destruction or something, and then killed everyone, and then it all got reanimated in some way for Vision to be alive, and
Yeah, totally. Because
I definitely see maybe a scene of like maybe Wanda like bringing in Vision's corpse or something and it being reanimated. You know what I mean? Like, because it looks like that might be actually Vision's corpse walking about.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And she's just seen it in that way. It's just been made to look that. That's why when I had that momentary lapse, that's actually what he's looked like this whole time.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being an outsider seeing that? She's just dressed in normal clothes and she's literally puppeteering every
She's just
person.
play like Dollhouse with everyone, like with dead people. Do you know what I mean? Can you imagine that?
That is fucking creepy.
Yeah.
Although,
I mean, the MCU has been kind of heading in slightly darker and darker directions. Like, it is possible to go that far.
they have said that Multiverse of Madness is going to basically be a horror movie anyway. So that ties in almost perfectly with the creepy elements and the fact that it's just puppeteering corpses.
Imagine that if they were all dead.
Oh, she's just like puppeteering corpses. Wanda's a sick individual.
And you also get that one guy, the doctor as well, who's like trying to leave.
Oh yeah, he's
going on holiday, but he is trying to leave. Like he says, like there's a moment where he's like, it's really like weird. It's like we can't escape, like, and it's so Truman Show, like try to leave to go on holiday to. What if that is Truman?
What?
Old man Truman.
He's still there.
Jim Carrey in the MCU confirmed.
Could you imagine? Oh, that would have been the best cameo ever if they had like Truman in the 50s thing.
Yeah.
Truman, please. Truman,
please.
Tell us.
Oh my God.
It just flips and he's like, "Have a good." What's this? He says, "Have a good."
If I don't see you, have a good morning, afternoon, and good night.
That's the one. That's the one.
Yeah. That's not quite the wording of it, but yeah.
Something like that.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or if they had Vision say something like that would have been a great callback.
Oh yeah. There's so many interesting theories.
Yeah, definitely.
If you guys have got any theories, please let us know.
Send them in.
Also, if we've got any information wrong, if anybody's got any information, or if any of us have got any information wrong, please shout at us and
now that
call us
we've
morons.
I think it's easy to say now that we've caught up on the first 4. We'll kind of do a wee weekly pod on each episode that comes out.
Yeah,
this was
weekly
unexpectedly longer.
Yeah, like weekly or every 2 episodes or so. We'll figure that out. But yeah, there will be more episodes of this going towards the end of the series. And
This is a lot longer than we expected.
This has been fun. Yeah, like we were kind of like, it'll be a quick like 10, 20
Well,
minute
it was a few.
it
It was a few episodes we had to cover those.
Yeah,
So it's kind of the main first arc. It's a kind of good way to do it, to be honest, because we still really don't know much at all. And I think a lot more will be revealed in episode 5.
Oh yeah.
Do we know how many episodes are going to be in this show?
I think 8. I think it's the same as Mandalorian.
I'll quickly check the Chrome while we're talking. I'll figure it out.
The Chrome.
Yeah, the Chrome.
Yeah, and it was interesting as well is that like the director, whose name is
John Smithington. I don't know.
John Smithington.
That's a question actually. Is it one director for the whole series?
It is actually. Yeah.
Because I know that for people who don't know, in The Mandalorian, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have gotten different directors in for each episode or a couple of episodes.
WandaVision is directed by Matt Shackman. Sorry.
Yes, I've just got it here as well. It's different. Yeah, different from Mandalorian, where Mandalorian every episode is directed by someone else. This, it's all directed by Matt Shackman, which is interesting.
That's good because it has a continuous kind of flow.
Yeah, and it
Mandalorian's different, whereas like each episode or a couple of episodes has an arc of its own.
Yeah, and just to confirm, it is 9 episodes.
9 episodes.
Wee extra bonus.
Yeah, and interestingly, like they did say like not every episode is going to be the sitcom thing, and we've already had at least one episode where it's kind of dropped that for a second, but. I think they did mention at some point they're going to go through 7 different kinds of sitcoms. So I'm assuming there's going to be 2 episodes of kind of normal show. Yeah. And then the rest is going to be.
I think even the sitcom ones will end up kind of being the normal show anyway.
Possibly, yeah. I would love to see like them get to like a modern day and they do like an Office style mockumentary episode or something. That'd be a lot of fun. Like I would really like to see
like a Big Bang Theory type sitcom episode.
Yeah, like a Friends.
Friends, yes.
Oh yeah, they're going to do a Friends one for the 90s one. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like a bit more kind of like 20 somethings having fun kind of show. Overall, I am fucking loving this show. I know it's a little bit of a mixed reaction from some people just because it is so weird and bold and like a lot of people are kind of just and I feel like if you really hate that kind of sitcom, you're going to struggle with this to some extent because that really is what it is for the most part. You know?
I think you've got to see the bigger picture with these things. I think towards the end of the show, it's going to get mental. I think it's going to. I think it's going to throw us off guard. I think this whole time, I think towards the end, it's just going to get absolutely nuts. Whether that's with Mephisto and the Devil or something, I think it's going to go crazy. I just have that.
Absolutely.
They're saving their budget. Do you know what I mean?
No, I am very, very, very much enjoying this. And I got to say, it's lovely having the MCU back after the longest gap between movies we've ever had, which is caused by Corona. Because it's we're coming up on 2 years since
Far From Home.
Since Far From Home, which is crazy.
Wow. God, it's been that long. Wow.
I know, it's crazy. Because we were meant to have had Black Widow by now. Falcon and Winter Soldier was meant to be the first of these shows, but that's been delayed. I've loved having it back, and I got to say, every week the Marvel fanfare that we sang earlier has brought me a lot of joy.
That's great. That's great.
I love the Star Wars equivalent that they've kind of done on The Mandalorian. But nothing really compares to this. Like it's so good.
Epic.
WandaVision. Such a good wee sitcom soundtrack as well.
I love that there's a different theme tune every episode. It's so good.
It's a lot of effort being put into it with different styles and stuff. It's really satisfying.
I read a thing there actually where the cinematographer used 47 different kinds of lenses to get the effect for each one across, and like
wow.
That's an impressive.
Should we wrap it up? We've kind of gone through everything in the first 4 episodes.
I think we're up to speed now.
I think we're good. I think, Mephisto was probably coming.
Or Wanda's badass, a badass evil witch.
Yeah, I mean she's always.
So what's the last thing we see in episode 4?
The last thing we see in episode 4 is Monica Rambeau saying it's all Wanda.
So that's the last thing. Cool.
That's the last thing. That's where we are. This episode is
coming brought to you by Stark Toasters.
Are you tired of your wife burning your toast? No. You've made me lose a train of thoughts, John. Fuck.
You're welcome.
Oh God, I've actually fucking hell. What was I saying? Sean, you dick.
Stark Toasters.
Stark Toasters. Fuck it, doesn't matter.
This episode will be out before the next one, is what you're going to say.
Yes, no, that's what's good. No, it's probably coming out on Friday the 5th, which is when episode 5 is out. So by then we will know a little bit more. But this is just a roundup of the first 4 episodes. So
awesome.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I'll have it out before. It depends. Maybe. It depends. It depends if Al can get the files onto G Drive or not.
Oh, they'll be there. They'll be there. I'll get them there. Don't worry.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
That was a big dig there.
Yes, it was. So yeah,
Awesome.
We made it. We made it through despite Sean's technical problems. And
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault.
Ultron tried to hack his computer there to end
Yeah.
the podcast.
Yeah.
While I was sitting back up, we were like,
Is it a coincidence we started to talk about Ultron being back and then his computer
I know.
just bleeped it?
Yeah, like Kevin Feige's just sitting there with a big button, just like, nah, kill his power.
kill the computer, destroy it.
He's getting too close. Yeah. But yes, no. Yes, thank you for listening. This has been a little bonus TV episode of the Salt River Movie Club.
Yep.
There will be more stuff like this. We are diving into Mandalorian very soon as well. We're going to force Sean to watch Mandalorian.
Oh no.
Yeah. Those will be a little bit more like the movie episodes where we actually watch it as part of the episode and you know. But yes, and expect more WandaVision coming very soon.
WandaVision.
WandaVision. Ba 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 ba. But yes, if you have your own theories or if you want to shit on our theories, you can contact us at our email, which is saltrivermovieclub@gmail.com. You can get in touch with us on our Facebook page, which is Salt River Pictures, or our Instagram, which is Salt River Pictures Official. And we also have our YouTube channel. You may even be listening to this on our YouTube channel. Who knows?
Welcome,
YouTube.
If you are a YouTube
If you are,
listener.
If you are, this is the first episode that's going up as like releasing an episode on the YouTube channel, so which is quite nice. So yeah, if you are over there, thank you, and if you're not over there, subscribe to the channel because we are putting up other stuff other than the episodes up there. All of our kind of music videos are on there just now as well, and
Awesome.
So yeah, subscribe on whatever service you listen on, rate us, like us, share us with your friends. This has become more of a mammoth episode than I was expecting, but that's fine.
It's fine.
Because we have to cover
Good.
4 episodes as well.
Yeah.
So
Yes. I think that is us.
It's us.
try the new Stark toaster.
Yes. Fuck, what do I end it on?
Give us a
Okay,
quote.
go. I've got one. Yeah, cool. Right. Thanks,
Bye,
guys.
we love
Thanks for listening.
you.
Bye-bye. It's all Wanda.
Hello there.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Stay on target.
This podcast is brought to you by Salt River Pictures.